Last night, I had a conversation that broke my heart. A Khmer friend I've known for months wants to open a clothes shop. They've done the market research, found a perfect location, have the financial backing, everything's ready to go. Won't do it. Why? The war will never end. This person watches bombing videos on Facebook and TikTok every single day. Hours of footage, explosions, conflict, military movements, destruction, constant observation of threat. Meanwhile, the data tells a completely different story. Cambodia just approved $9.3 billion in foreign investment, 600 new projects launched, 376,000 jobs created, infrastructure development accelerating, tourism recovering, the economy is growing, there's a peace deal, real negotiations happening, diplomatic progress documented, opportunity exists, measurable, documented, real opportunity, but my friend can't see it, won't act on it. This is Schrödinger's observer effect, and it's not a metaphor. It's quantum psychology playing out in real time. Let me explain what's happening. In 1935, Erwin Schrödinger proposed his famous thought experiment, a cat in a box, alive and dead simultaneously until you observe it. Sounds absurd, but it's based on quantum mechanics proven in thousands of experiments. At the quantum level, particles exist in superposition, multiple states at once. The moment you observe them, the wave function collapses. One outcome becomes real. Now, observer effect doesn't literally work at human scale. Countries aren't quantum particles. But here's what scales perfectly. Observation affects behavior, and behavior creates outcomes. Cambodia exists in a kind of superposition right now. Multiple possibilities coexist. Possibility A, peace holds, investment flows, economy grows, businesses thrive. Possibility B, conflict escalates, war returns, economy collapses, businesses fail. Both are real possibilities. Both exist simultaneously, like Schrödinger's cat before you open the box. My friend opens the box every single day by watching those bombing videos, observes conflict constantly, 4 hours daily on war footage, maybe 30 minutes weekly on business planning or market research. What happens when you observe one possibility constantly while filtering out the other? The wave function collapses. For you, not for everyone, not objectively, but for your behavior, for your decisions, for your actions. My friend observes war constantly, believes war is inevitable, collapses their personal reality into conflict, acts as if peace is impossible. Result? Won't open the clothes shop, won't invest in inventory, won't sign the lease, won't test the opportunity. The war never ends for them, not because war is objectively inevitable, because they're acting as if war is inevitable. Self-fulfilling prophecy isn't just psychology folklore, it's observer effect scaling through human behavior. The psychology research backs this completely. Robert Merton documented self-fulfilling prophecy in 1948. A false belief becomes true through the behavior it creates. Bank run example. If everyone believes the bank will fail, everyone withdraws money, bank fails. The belief created the outcome. Confirmation bias compounds the problem. Once you believe something, you seek information confirming it. My friend believes war never ends. What do they watch? Bombing videos, conflict updates, threat content. What do they ignore? Peace negotiations, investment announcements, business success stories, infrastructure development, economic growth data. Not because that information doesn't exist, it's everywhere. But confirmation bias filters it out automatically. Negativity bias makes it worse. Human brains evolved to detect threats. Our ancestors who worried constantly survived. The relaxed, optimistic ones got eaten. So our brains give threats 5 times more attention than positive information. Made perfect sense 10,000 years ago when predators were real. Disaster now when threats are mostly psychological. My friend's brain is doing exactly what evolution programmed it to do. Scan for threats, amplify threats, ignore everything else. Survival mode engaged constantly. Combined with observer effect through behavior, this creates a behavioral collapse into negative outcomes. The clothes shop never opens. Not because war made it impossible, because observation patterns prevented even testing whether it was possible. And here's what keeps me up at night. This isn't one person. I see this pattern across dozens of would-be entrepreneurs here in Cambodia. Real opportunity exists. Real tensions exist. Both are true, but observation locked on threat only. Before you think this is just about Cambodia, let me be clear. I see the same pattern everywhere. I left the UK because I watched cost of living crisis and collapsing services dismantle society. My friends who stayed face real systemic challenges. I'm not minimizing that, but I watched them doom scroll for hours daily, every news site, every social media feed, crisis content, collapse predictions, disaster scenarios, constant observation of threat. Does watching crisis content help navigate the crisis, or does it collapse your behavioral options into paralysis? Same pattern, different context, same outcome. What are you observing constantly in your own environment? Crisis content, how many hours daily? Opportunity content, how many minutes? If it's heavily weighted toward threat observation, you're not staying informed. You're training your perception to filter out possibilities. This doesn't mean ignore real problems. Cambodia's tensions are real. UK's cost of living crisis is real. These aren't imagined, but within real constraints, what you observe affects what possibilities you even notice, which affects what you try. My friend has real options they're not seeing because observation is stuck on threat only. Here's what shifts it. Not toxic positivity, not pretending problems don't exist. Conscious observation management. Audit what you're watching. 15 minutes daily on conflict updates, 2 hours daily on market research, business planning, opportunity identification. Ratio shift, not denial. Observing fuller reality instead of threat-only reality. Then act on the observation you want to test. My friend needs to visit that storefront. Talk to potential customers. Write the business plan. Open the shop. Different observation, different information, different behavior, different outcome. The wave function collapses based on what you do, not just what you think. What are you observing right now? What possibilities are you missing? Because you're only watching the crisis content. Observer effect is real. Your attention creates your behavioral reality. Not completely, not magically, but measurably. What you observe constantly, you amplify. What you amplify, you act on. What you act on, you create. My Khmer friend is creating economic paralysis through observation patterns. What are you creating through yours?